Alrighty. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Digital Tabletop Festival. Today we are here to talk to you about Warhammer Underworlds Online. My name is Nick. I'm the producer at Steel Sky Productions, and with me I have Neil. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Neil. I'm the boss, I guess. I hate that title, but I guess that's what I am.
So today we are going to walk you through a few games of Warhammer Underworlds Online. So should we get started, Neil?
I think so. Let's get in there and roll some crits. Let's do it.
Do you want to give us a brief description of what the game is?
Yeah, so Warhammer Underworlds Online is it's a dice and card board game. I kind of liken it a little bit. If you're going to look at other games, it's kind of Hearthstone meets chess, I guess. There's deck building in there, but you also have this three-dimensional element where you've got little miniatures moving around on a tabletop board. If you ever played games in the old days like battle chess and things like that, where the pieces come to life and attack each other, it's a little bit like that in a way. So the aim of the game is basically to accrue as much glory as possible, and the person with the most glory wins. And you get glory two ways: by scoring cards and by killing your opponents. But the aim of the game isn't always to kill your opponents. So you've got to be kind of clever about how you go about getting that glory. As you'll see, objective cards with glory attached to them become really important.
Yeah, we'll show you those once we get into a game.
Let's do it.
Neil, would you like to use the code Nick and Neil to find a match together?
All one word?
No spaces, no caps.
Yep. Let's do it.
Awesome. So Neil, the game features a large cast of characters and in warbands. Do you have a favourite warband that we have in the game?
Yeah, I've got a few. I've been playing around with a few. My current warband, I'm going to play them in a minute, are called Eyes of the Nine. They're one of the DLC warbands that we introduced about a month or two ago. They're really cool. I really like them. They're a funny group of creatures. But I'm also a big fan of the orcs, and I quite like playing the Gauls. I'm also in the actual tabletop physical game. I like playing the dwarfs quite a lot, the Fire Slayers. And that's kind of exciting. And we've kind of just announced those that are coming to the game next week.
Soon. I think by the time you are listening to this recording, they will be out. So check out our Steam page right now.
Yeah. Go to the Fire Slayers.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I need to choose a board.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the game, you get to choose a board. I'm going to choose the basic mirror well.
I did the same thing.
You can rotate and move the boards around as well, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to confirm that. You hopefully see that, Nick.
Yep, that has been pushed onto my side.
Yay.
And now we take it in turns placing objective markers. So there are 5 objective markers that are on the map, and they can relate to certain objective cards within our deck, or they could not.
So
the only caveat with placing these is that they need to be not within 2 hexes of each other, and not against the edges, unless it's the last one, which can be placed against the edge.
Right.
Alright, so straight up we get 2 decks of cards. On the left here we have our power cards. We have a bunch of different ploys and upgrades, things that will buff our fighters and also nerf the enemies. On the right here we have our objective cards. And as you can see down the bottom there, we have little glory tokens, and that's the reward you get for completing the conditions on the cards. So we have the option to redraw these cards if we want, but I think we will...
Yeah, you can mulligan your cards at the beginning. So much like any sort of board game which has where you have a deck, you work in the probabilities of like the cards that are in your deck, and if the cards are not appearing in a way that you're happy about, you can kind of play the probability game and see if you can mulligan your cards and try and get the cards you do want.
Yeah. So we just had a bit of a roll off. Neil won the roll off, so he gets to decide who places their fighters first.
You're going to place yours first.
Yep.
Where's he going to put them? Where are those boys going?
Yeah.
There they are. Okay.
As close as possible to the front line. So I think it's really interesting that the different warbands, the different characters within the game, they have such different strategies of play. For example, my characters are going to be very run and gun, get in there and smash them up. Whereas Neil might be a bit more reserved, especially with his spellcasters.
Sneaky spellcasters.
Sneaky spellcasters.
And also, while you see that I've got 4 fighters on the field, I've got my warband's kind of special. We've actually got a 5th fighter called the Blue Horror, which I'm able to summon using a spell. And I might summon the Blue Horror. Who knows?
We'll see. All right, so I've finished my turn. It's up to you now.
Okay, so now it's my activation. So it's probably worth pointing out in the bottom of the screen here. I'm sure Nick can point at the screen. There's the little 1 there next to the in the center, and that refers to a round. So each game has 3 rounds in it. And each round has what's called 4 activations. Each player gets 4 activations per round. So in your game, you'll only ever have a maximum of 12 goes. And that's the beauty of this game, is that it's actually, you have limited choices of what to do. And so you have to make everything count.
Yeah.
Right, so I've just moved onto an objective.
So an activation structure is pretty simple to understand. So, for example, I'll have my activation, and then right afterwards, there is a thing called a power step, in which Neil has an opportunity to respond to my actions, and then I have an opportunity to respond to Neil's actions, and that keeps going until one of us passes, and then we move on to the next turn.
Yeah, so during the power step, it's when you get to play your power cards, which are down in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. So it's your go now, Nick.
Yeah, so I'm just making a movement.
Okay. So it's power phase. Now it's my activation. So we're going to keep it simple to start with, just positioning some players around. I've got a bit of a plan, I'm sure Nick does too.
What's your plan, Neil? Do you want to talk us through that?
What would you like to know?
I would like to know.
You're going to find out.
Oh no, I'm scared. Oh, I'm scared.
Should be.
Alright. So we're also just trying to position our fighters in a good way. Is Turosh ranged? I'm not sure.
Well, you could click on Turosh and you'll be able to see.
You're right, I can.
So Turosh is ranged.
Yeah. But also quite weak. Only 1 damage.
Yeah. So Navia and Turosh are kind of like, they're the weaklings on my team. So I have to be really careful where I position those.
In saying that, I have definitely been beaten by a powered up Navia.
Oh really?
Yeah, someone on the team, on our at work. It's very scary.
So here we go. This is where I do the magic. So I'm actually summoning the Blue Horror. You can see him appear hopefully on Nick's side of the board.
Oh, I was like looking for him. Oh, so this little horror just appeared. So that's fun.
Yes, I love the blue horror.
That makes one of us. Alrighty.
And the blue horror is quite handy in that it takes a lot to kill the blue horror, even though the blue horror only has 2 wounds, which you'll be able to see. Those 2 little grey circles above the blue horror, that signifies how much health a fighter has. Past that. Right, I think it might be time to show a bit of combat. Or shall I? What to do here? What to do?
I'm just hoping he doesn't do this. There's no combat here. God damn it, that's exactly where I didn't want you to go.
So here we are, we've rolled. So I've just rolled a crit there, which is the super powerful part of the dice roll. And if you roll a crit, you get it's pretty hard to beat unless the person is defending with a crit.
Yeah.
Right here, I have the ability, because I've hit Nick's Auric here, I'm able to push the Auric back.
Which puts a bit of a spanner in my plans, because one of my objectives was to hold that objective point there, which Neil obviously didn't know, but probably could have made that assumption based on the fact that I moved directly onto it quite early on.
So now we're scoring. This is the end of round 1. So we've got to the end of round 1. What happens? We have to score our objectives.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick's going to score loads of objectives here, aren't you, Nick?
No. So because I didn't score any objectives, I have the ability to discard them and try and grab something else.
Yeah, because you can only have 3 objectives in your hand at any one time.
Yeah,
which is super important. And now you're able to discard power cards. You can upgrade your characters here as well. Upgrading is done by actually using glory points that you've scored, which I'm sure we'll show in a little while. One of us will probably upgrade a character at some point.
Yeah. All right, I'm done. Over to you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You did. That was a lot for turn 1. So Neil has just scored 5 glory.
This game. Right. So I'm now going to play some upgrades. So I'm actually going to play this upgrade here. And that uses up one. So I've actually scored 5 glory, and I can actually use one of those glories to upgrade one of my characters. So I'm going to upgrade Kacharek here, so I get +1 damage. I'm also going to upgrade here my blue horror and have +1 defense. So basically what that means is I get an extra dice to roll, which increases my probability of getting a better outcome should I get into a fight with that character. I'm going to pass this current upgrade.
And you can see here that Neil has 3 glory unspent, 2 glory spent, but still 5 glory altogether. So the person with the most glory at the end of the match, spent or unspent, is the winner.
So we're into round 2. And remember, there's only 3 rounds, so we're 1/3 of the way through the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now that roll-off was really important because at the start of each round you have to roll off to see who goes first. And obviously Nick has won the roll-off in this situation, which is bad news for me because Nick has these bloodthirsty Aurics that want to do. Now, this is interesting.
Oh no.
So I have a card, a power card, which is called a reaction card. And reaction cards can be played at key points in the game. I've got this particular reaction card I'm about to play is called Forewarned. And it basically gives me the ability to re-rail any number of dice in my defense roll. Now, because Nick has scored a hammer and I've got a shield, I've successfully defended, so I'm actually going to pass. So I didn't actually need to play that card, but had Nick have scored 2 hit dice against my 1, it would have probably been a good idea, because then I would have had to get a crit roll in order to beat Nick's attack.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we're into the power step.
Yep, and I'm going to play a power card called Sidestep and move one of my fighters into a different position.
Right, you might want to explain why you've done that, Nick.
Yeah, so the reason I've done that is to get closer to Naria and hopefully get a hit in next turn without having to charge. So a charge is when you make a move action and an attack action in the same turn, which is a big thing, and it's such a big thing that you actually can't use that fighter again for the rest of the round until the next round. But if I get close enough and I can just use an attack action, I can actually do that over and over again, and hopefully take out one of Neil's fighters. And on that note, actually, I have a card called Having a Good Time, which allows me to choose a fighter and roll a dice, and if I get the roll off, which I did, I get to make an attack action.
Oh, no!
So I'm going to do that immediately, and I'm going to fail the attack action.
Wow, I got lucky there. I had a 1 in 6 of getting a crit there, and I got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's worth me having a go. Having a good time.
You're having a good time. It's my go. So I'm going to... Remember I had my upgrade on Kacharik of a +1 on damage. So Kacharik does 3 damage anyway. Oh!
Thank God for that.
But because I played a card, I'm able to re-roll.
Oh,
yes! Yes!
4 damage.
Bye-bye.
Takes out
So that's my
Bone
3
Cutter.
+1.
And Bone Cutter was one of my big damage dealers, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I can recover from this. It's a big loss.
6-0.
You know what? I'm just going to use a healing version just in case. Because I need Basher to be safe. I actually don't know what to do.
I actually think you're in a pretty good position because you've got because you Hacker you use the sidestep. Hacker still has lots of options because if Hacker does an attack, Hacker can keep attacking every activation.
Yeah, I might actually do that and see how we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Successful attack.
Oh, I forgot Hacker only does 1 damage.
Only does 1 damage, yeah. But what I will do as well is I'm just going to make a knock Navia back, just because then she'll have to use a move action as well as an attack action if she wants to get close to Hacker again, and then which obviously disables her for the rest of the round. Yeah, I think I might also show everyone the tactical grid that we have, which shows off the hex edges if you are having trouble seeing those, as well as keeping the objective numbers on at all times.
I have mine turned on. I just have mine on all the time.
Yeah.
It's personal preference. Some people do, some people don't.
Mm.
I think it's probably because I play a lot of my warbands very objective heavy. So, right, what to do here? What to do? What am I holding here?
Would you like a tip?
Pardon?
Would you like a tip?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure? Because if you press escape, you can actually concede the game.
I was like,
If you like.
is that a new feature that we've put in?
Yeah.
Press escape. And it tells you what to do next. I didn't know about that feature. So I've actually put my character here, Turosh, on guard. And maybe you can explain what going on guard means.
Yeah, sure. So I think this is a really good opportunity to discuss defense dice. So let me pull up this image right here. So every time you roll for attack and roll for defense, you'll roll at least one dice. And on that dice is 6 sides. Normally they'll have 1 crit, 2 of one characteristic, 1 of another characteristic, and then 1 each of these support ones. So you can see those on the very far right there. The ones with the fighters that go on guard, normally that fighter will have 1 defense characteristic, either a shield or a dodge. But when they are on guard, they are able to use both shields and dodges. So that actually increases their potential for defending all the way up to 4 out of 6, which is much better than a minimum of 2 out of 6. A third. I'm just going to quickly make an action because I am running out of time.
You're timing out, yeah. That horrible timeout bar.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do this. So I got 2 successes, and Navia got 1 dodge, but Navia actually uses shields as her defense characteristic, so that was a fail on her part. And so yeah, I took Navia out, I got 1 glory point for the kill, and I also now have the ability to put an upgrade on my fighter by spending that glory. Which we will do.
You'll also see next to Hacker is these little red symbols with the lines through them.
Yeah, so this token on the very left, that is a charge token. So as I said before, a charge is when you combine a move and an attack action, meaning that Hacker is now out of action for the rest of this round. You'll notice that Gerzag over here also has one of those symbols. And Turosh now also has one of those symbols too. So what just happened, besides the fact that Neil scored an objective, was that Neil had a very successful roll. However, a crit will always beat any other roll. So unless you match it with a crit, the crit will always win. Now, Neil, how did you score an objective just then?
Well, you can click on my cards and you'll be able to see my cards, and you'll see a card there called Change of Tactics, which is score this immediately if a friendly fighter on guard makes a charge action. So the reason I put Churish on guard in the last activation is because I knew I could score that if I did a charge after I'd done it.
Clever. Yeah, so it's really cool that there's both objectives you can score in an end phase, as well as things that you can score immediately if you meet those conditions immediately. So I've only got 1 fighter that I can actually activate right now. So what we're going to do is, because Kacharik is a bit of a threat, we might actually go straight for Kacharik. Even though Kacharik's the scary one of the crew.
Ooh!
See, that is a very bad roll. And now I've just put myself right in Kacharik's sword range.
Oh.
So currently Neil is on 7 glory and I'm on 1 glory. So clearly Neil is winning.
Okay. My little blue horror is gonna
run over here onto another objective. So I'm assuming Neil has an objective card up there that involves holding an objective.
Oh yeah.
And I am nowhere near Neil, so I can't really get there to stop him. So now
It's a shame, I don't think we're going to see the Brimstone Horrors in this game.
No, because I'm not going to take the blue horror out.
So basically, when the blue horror gets killed, the magic thing about the blue horror is the blue horror turns into 2 little fiery guys called the Brimstone Horrors. and they're a bit cunning in that they, while they're not very powerful, they get 2 attacks on their first activation. So we won't see those today. But,
Having a bit of a tough time here.
you are. So here's my objective scoring. Ooh. Those. So upgrades. I'm going to discard a card. So I don't want that one in my deck. So discarding cards that you're not really you don't think you're going to use is really good, because that gives you can only hold 5 power cards at the beginning of a round. So it just gives you more chance of bringing up a card that you would probably want to use at some point.
Yeah.
Which I have, which is kind of good. But you don't know what it is, because you can't see it.
So I'm going to go straight in with an attack. And I gain a support because I have a friend here with me. And I deal 3 damage, which is enough to take out Kacharik and potentially Neil's biggest damage dealer. Unfortunately, the Eyes of the Nine aren't all about damage, so they might have some extra little bits happening.
What to do? Oh, +1 damage.
So hopefully we can use that 2 damage to take out Turosh over there, but we will see in a moment.
So I'm going to do this.
Ooh.
So I just used a card to be able to push an enemy fighter, and that's in the power step, so I haven't used up any movement, I haven't done anything, and I'm also going to... or am I? No, I'm going to hold on to that for a moment. Okay. So it's my go, and I am going to... Oh, that's annoying, actually. I've miscalculated.
It happens.
Yeah, I've actually miscalculated my moves here.
But don't worry, look at the glory.
I think I would... I want to trounce you!
Yeah, you're already doing that! Like, looking at those numbers, I think I would hate to be me right now. Oh, goodbye, Turosh. Where are you going? Just going. Going for a walk.
I messed up a little bit, but depends what you do here. It's whether I get away with it or not.
Are you expecting me to follow Turosh? Is that what you want me to do?
I could be leading you into a trap. This is true. I could be. This is my.
Are you doing that though? Because you've done it in such a way that if I was to go and attack Turosh, I would be right next to Vortimus.
Oh dear. Well, I don't know. Well, it's up to you.
It's a lot.
It's like your brain's thinking, how badly do I want to lose this match?
Yep. I don't want to lose at all, but it's hard to win.
Well, so one of the other things...
I'm going to do it.
I have been in... Oh, gosh.
That's not good.
That's not good.
And now I am in a very bad position.
What to do here? Question. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to pass for the moment. I'm actually going to go here. I'm going to cast a spell on this guy. Oh no. No, actually I'm not. I'm actually just going to do a straight attack. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah!
Whew. That is,
Now, I've got the option here to push back Hacker, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to pass, because what that allows me, that allows Hacker still to be in range of Churosh here. And even though, you know, Hacker is still close, Hacker's used up all of his movement and attack options. So I don't have to worry, unless Nick has a sneaky card, which sometimes can happen. Right. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Power step, so we're on to Nick's third activation in the final round.
So the really good thing of the really good thing of what Neil just did was move right into the range of one of my other fighters, which is exciting. So what I might do is this. Score a crit, do an attack, and then I might actually push away, specifically so that Turosh doesn't get those supporting dice on his next attack.
Yep.
Because they can make or break a game when you have more of your own fighter next to your enemy.
Okay, so what I'm going to do? The little blue horror is having a little bit of a
little party down there by yourself.
Well, he does have this little dance move to him, which I really love. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply an upgrade to my blue horror. And I've just upgraded that blue horror with a thing called a key. And what that means is that the keys are usually attached to upgrades. And it gives you two extra glory if you manage to have that character on the objective by the end of the match. So that's my hope here.
So I'm going to get rid of this denial objective because I don't think there is any way to get that blue horror from out of my territory, my side of the board.
So it's my last go.
We're in round 3 already. Can you believe it?
Churosh does 2 damage, and I've still, because Churosh has only got a movement blocking token and not an attack because I only moved, it means I've still got an attack.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get an extra glory. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Not this time.
Crit. Let's move. So unfortunately, I don't add to my glory tally.
That's okay.
But what I am going to do is I am going to use a card called Decisive.
No! Nice work. That last second objective hold.
So here comes, this is the end of the game now. So we're just checking all our final cards. Oh, you got Conquest. Nice.
I did. It is
So
not enough.
I've got Objective 5.
Oh my goodness.
And I got Chosen by Destiny. 13-5, Nick.
13-5, not bad. There's a reason you're the boss, I guess. Too good at this game.
I think I got a bit lucky at the beginning of the game because I had Supremacy and Bind the City, which are basically you score glory points if you're holding 3 objectives. And the great thing about the Eyes of the Nine is because you can place the blue horror anywhere on the board, if the objectives are all on the other players...
which they were.
Well, yeah, you had the 3. I was still able to get my little blue horror onto an objective, thus scoring all 3 objectives to score those cards. So I ended up, at the end of round 1, having 5 glory, which is a pretty good start to a game.
Yeah, sweet. Alright,
Cool.
Should we jump into another game?
Cool. You might want to show the deck builder potentially.
Yeah, sure. I will just also mention quickly that we are at 34 minutes, so 35 minutes. So if we do play another game, we need to be quick on our actions. Yeah, so let's play around with. So we've got this warband here. So let me get back. Sorry. So we've got the Steelheart's Champions, our big Stormcast, big armor boys. And we have a nice big deck builder here, so we are actually able to manipulate the gambits, the upgrades, and the objectives that we are taking into battle with us. So they'll have their own respective tabs. And there's two types of cards within each one. So we've got the faction-specific cards, which have the little blue symbol in the top right corner. That means that they are dedicated to Steelheart's Champions only, and can only be used by Steelheart's Champions. And then there's this little green symbol here, which are universal cards. The really cool thing about Warhammer Underworlds Online is that we release universal cards for free very, very regularly. So there's always a chance to sort of freshen up your decks. So this deck is looking pretty good already. I think we might just remove one of these.
So who are you playing as next?
I'm going to take our Steelheart's Champions.
Okay, well I'll be Morgor's Fiends then.
Sure. Classic blue versus red.
Yep.
Good versus evil. Kinda, not really. Everyone's a little bit evil. Everyone's a little bit good. So we'll do the same code again. Nick and Neil.
Okay, here I come.
Yeah.
I haven't played with Morgor's Fiends in quite a while, so it's be interesting.
The other thing that's worth mentioning is normally we don't use codes to find matches. There is a full online matchmaking system in place. You also have the ability to play with your Steam friends. So which of the warbands have we released as DLC so far, Neil?
Well, Eyes of the Nine, who I played earlier on. And I'm going to change my board this time a little bit.
Me too.
Board. And Thorns of the Briar Queen, which was our first DLC release. Which were lots of cool ghosties, which have some really amazing moves, actually. They're pretty good. And then also, by the time we watch this, hopefully we'll have some Dwarfies running around, some Fire Slayers. So. And we have lots more to come. Loads of really cool warbands coming up. Oh, longboard! Ooh.
It's time for the longboard.
It's time for longboard. Okay. What to do here? Now, see, I might go aggro on this game. Usually I'm a kind of a defensive player with like playing around with objectives, but I'm gonna aggro it up, I think. And try and see what happens.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Right.
So when it's longboard, we have a lot more verticality. Oh, sorry, the other one, horizontality, if that's a word. I don't think that's a word.
Okay, so we're going to try and rattle through this game, aren't we?
Yep.
A little bit faster. Okay.
So we're going to redraw our entire objective hand because it was terrible. That's a bit better, I guess.
You can place your fighter first.
Thanks.
Ooh, I've forgotten this deck. I think my son might have been into this deck as well.
Oh, really?
Cards of his own, yeah. If you're ever online and you're playing against me, it might not actually be me, it might be him. So if you get beaten by an 8-year-old, well, it's down to you. Interesting. You're playing quite defensive. You're going. They call it coward cast on our.
I'm not. I'm not going full coward. Not this time.
Talking to the Discord. Come and join the Discord.
Yeah, we have quite a large community, which is really exciting.
How many people have we got on there now? It's like
5,000, 6,000.
yeah. Cool. And you can jump on there, chat to people. You can arrange games with those people, which is kind of cool. There's lots of advice on deck building. There's lots of chatter as well about the physical version, the Games Workshop actual board game as well, which is great. Right, what am I doing here? I am going to do that.
Straight onto the objectives. Classic Neil.
I can't help it, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Alright, we'll just pass. We have a lot of options there, which is good. I might actually just do one of these. Do a Neil.
Ooh. Sorry.
You doing supremacy again?
No, I couldn't possibly say. No, I'm not. Honest.
I don't know if I believe you. Unfortunately, I need to be quite passive at the moment. So I might just remove one of my objectives. Okay, can do. I see. That's 3 objectives that Neil now holds, which is a little bit scary. I wonder if there's anything we can do about that.
I wonder.
Let's get rid of that as well. There we go. Alright. So we have a plan.
So I think this time I am going to. One of your activations, you can actually discard an objective card and draw another one. So I'm actually gonna do that.
Yeah, that's what I did as well. So now
I didn't get the one I wanted though.
Oh no. So now Neil is on, has just finished his last activation. We can finally use this card called Peal of Thunder to push him off of a hex, an objective hex that he was clearly wanting to be on. So unless he has sidestep or distraction, there should be no way for him to get back onto that hex immediately.
I'm not happy about that.
Sorry, Neil. And I've been skipping my activations because I don't really want to go in and attack just yet. I've got a bit of a strategy around not getting hurt.
quite the opening I was aiming for.
I'm sorry, Neil.
That's okay.
So that'll force, if Neil doesn't discard that card now, he'll be forced to try and score it in a future round, which means that he won't be using that time to attack me. Strategy. So currently Neil is just deciding which upgrade to play on his fighters, or whether he wants to skip it. Whew. Hero Slayer, that is a very intense attack. 4 damage, can take out any of my heroes if it successfully lands. And I think now, after Neil discards some power cards, I will score my objectives. Well, objective 1. And we'll also get rid of that. Pass.
Bit of a slow opener, this one.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of this game, is that it actually is very tactical, in that it's not just about rushing in and killing. There are, depending on how you built your deck, depending on the kind of warband you've chosen, there are different tactics to play in order to win the game. You can actually play a match where nobody dies and it's still really exciting and strategic. You can also play matches where everybody dies, and you can still win a match. Right, I'm going to get you. You go first.
Sure.
See, we're a bit of a standoff here, I think, aren't we?
Yeah. So unfortunately, my strategy involves being quite defensive. So I'm actually going to put Severin on guard, which, as we discovered in the last match, means that shields and dodges both apply to my defense. Neil, we are at 47 minutes, so we just got to make sure we go a bit quicker.
Yep.
My fear is that we're going to get cut off.
I'm clicking.
Click faster. So Neil's moving on to that objective. I assume you're trying to score that card again. Which we are fine with, honestly.
All good. Yeah, so unfortunately I haven't been able to bring out the Riptooth yet. Riptooth is the speedy ones. All my fighters have a movement of 3, apart from Riptooth that has a movement of 4. Oh, something's happening!
Yeah. I went in straight to knock you off that objective because I know you need that quite badly. So I think it's worth denying you the glory. I think it's really cool that there's quite a nice balance between denying glory versus scoring your own glory.
Oh, you put somebody on guard with a power card. That's really clever.
Yeah, so I don't have to use an extra action.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Okay. Alrighty. Well, if you're going to play that game...
So now I'm scared because Neil's going to just ignore that objective card and just go straight into attacking me. Yeah, I thought so.
And using my... Oh!
Oh, no! No! Was that Hero Slayer? No! That removes one of my big strategies for the game of not getting involved in these petty combat affairs.
This game...
Oh, I can't believe you hit that of all the attacks.
when the probability gods are in your favour, there's not much you can do.
I guess I'm not scoring Eternals, so get out of here.
Bye bye.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go have some fun. Shall
I'm still in shock.
think it's time for Ribtooth to have a little bit of take the dog for a walk.
Poor Angarad is out of action.
Poor Angarad.
Poor Angarad.
She fought well.
Yeah. Not well enough.
Taken out by Zarkus. Zarkus is like my foot soldier.
Just prepare for the next activation, I suppose. I can't believe he took one of my fighters out. So there's a warband in this game that can actually bring their fighters back to life because they're all undead.
Yeah,
They're quite a cool warband.
Oh, no. All right, so we're at the end of round 2 already. Gosh.
Some games go quite a lot quicker than the others.
Yeah. Ooh, so it's a close one, this game. Oh, look at that. You're winning 3-2. There it is.
Oh no.
So that was the one. So I had an objective card there that I scored 2 glory if I had fighters on objectives 1 and 2, which is why I was going for it.
Yeah. Alright, so you're ahead slightly now.
I am.
My long-term strategies has been dashed a little, I will admit.
Take them.
Goodness.
Going upgrade. Upgrade happy here.
Yep. Wait, what did you place on Zarkus? Gotcha. Alright, let's begin. Double crits. Looks like I go first.
Or you choose who goes first.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go first.
Oh, I wonder why. Exciting. It's gonna happen. Ooh, double crit!
Double crit.
What damage do you do? Oh, you only do 2.
Just 2 with that attack, but that's okay. Because we are going to... push Riptooth there.
We haven't actually talked about inspiration either. It's another
No,
thing.
you're right. You're right.
So yeah, so on a fighter card, they have a little bit of information about inspiration, and they have conditions that each player. I'm going to play a healing potion on Riptooth here, and if the fighter meets that condition, they become inspired, and they get a bit of an advantage. So you'll see that Zarkus is inspired at the moment.
Yeah.
Try to do that.
I
Play
just
Glory to Corn.
made a mistake. Oh no, good.
Oh!
So play a shard fall so that Zarkus can't come down easily.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But unfortunately, it doesn't stop Riptooth at all. So I'm probably going to die to Riptooth.
That's really tricky. Oh, you're a pest.
What? Why?
Because I can't do the thing that I wanted to do. That yeah, that's. Okay. What to do here? I think we'll go this way. Oh, double crit!
That is a lot. A reaction, eh?
Do an extra damage.
Yeah, alright. And that means puts me closer to Zarkus.
To do here? What to do? Sorry, I'm just working out.
It's okay. We are at 56 minutes.
56 minutes. We've got 4 minutes
Yep. So let's
to play 3 activations each.
Yep. Let's see if we can't do this quickly. Alright. So healing potion.
Oh, look at you running away.
That's me. It's okay. If it makes you feel any better, you've already won this. I don't think I'm going to get my last objective card. I made a mistake.
Yeah, that sometimes happens. Oh, go on. Oh.
Close one.
Now, because it was a draw, I can still push you, which is handy for me.
Oh, that was the wrong turn to use that.
Okay.
GG.
Indeed. Here we go. Comagore. Go on.
Nice
Oh,
work.
yeah.
And death. Oh, not death?
Not death. I'm actually going to pass that. Right, so your very last activation of our stream, make it count. Oh.
Spend some glory. just end my turn. Got nothing I can do.
And I'm going to do something equally dull. I'm just going to draw a new objective card and see if I can. Oh, that's a shame. Right, so we're totting up the scores. I get my key.
7
You've
against
got an
4.
objective 3. Or is it? No.
I was trying to get denial as well, and then you came into my territory. Alright, 10-4. Alright.
Well done. It's been 2 exciting games.
Yeah.
2 very different games as well. Which I think show
Agreed.
the game. Yeah.
Agreed. On that note, thank you all for tuning in to the Digital Tabletop Festival. Thank you so much for checking out Warhammer Underworlds online. Check out our Steam page. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook. And we hope to see you soon. All right.
Bye-bye.
See you later.